definition, like a block, let's say C is in the blockchain of B if C equals B, or C is in the blockchain of B. And this was kind of well defined because in a blockchain, well, you only have one parent. So if it's not, if C doesn't equal B, then you just look up the parent of B and then you sort of recurse on the definition. But I guess if we're trying something with multiple parents, then we need to figure out a sort of new definition of is in the blockchain of B. And one thing we can do is we can just take, if we, I guess as we plan to order the parents, if we can just take the first parent, then we could just sort of treat it as a chain again and then redo the definition. And this means that, like, for example, if we have like a diamond shape where, or like a diamond dag shape where, let's say, there's a genesis and then there's block B1 and then there's C. And then the other side of like the diamond is the genesis and then block B2 and then C. And so basically C has two parents, B1 and B2. And B1 and B2 have the parents A, or sorry, I meant the genesis as parents, or as a parent. And so in this example, essentially, let's say C's main parent is B1, then B1 is in the blockchain of C, but B2 is not in the blockchain of C. And so at first that might sound weird, but I guess when B2 is not in the blockchain of C, if we check for sort of the safety of B2, then it will say that, well, it will never be safe because it's not actually in the blockchain of anything in the future. But if C, or if you check, but if we're traversing sort of from the latest blocks, then we'll always hit C first. And C will probably be in the, or at least if everyone was on C at that point, or something following from C, then that will be finalized, or like that would be called safe first, and then you would never actually sort of worry about B2 unless you were a validator on B2, right? Or sorry, you were a validator and your current latest was B2. You sort of have to wait until you get to a block on the main chain. And this I thought is an optimization so that you don't have to traverse the entire DAG. And yeah. Did that make any sense, I guess? Like,
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering about the nomenclature and things that we're saying, because B2, saying that B2 will never be safe, to me sounds misleading, right? Because when C is safe, that means that the transactions that B2 contains are also safe, right? Because
yep.
Because C, by virtue of pointing to both B1 and B2, is saying, I want all the transactions from B1 and all the transactions from B2 to be in my view of the world. So once C becomes safe, everything below C also becomes safe. So Um,
Yeah, I agree. So I guess yeah, it's hard. Like the safety oracle doesn't return true on that block, but it is safe. Maybe that's not even good because then it feels like the safety oracle doesn't give you safety. Um,
yeah. So I think optimizing to only follow one particular path through the DAG is probably fine, so long as when you ask about something that's off the main chain, it does some kind of backtracking to figure out if some parent in the main chain is finalized. Like finalization sort of propagates, is I guess what I'm saying.
Interesting. I see. So are you are you are you mentioning like I guess is I guess is it ever possible that if it wasn't on the main chain that it could have been finalized at that moment? It should be, right? I have to think about this.
So I think the general statement is that a block is safe if there exists, well, maybe that's not quite what I want to say. Yeah, so I guess what I'm saying is that I think when we're defining things, we should define safety in a very DAG-like way rather than a chain-like way. And then when we're implementing safety, we can do fancy shortcuts like this that allow less computational work to be done. But I think the core definition and the nomenclature should have all the intuitions that you would expect because we're working with a DAG.
Yeah, I like that. And so I guess earlier, um, yeah. So B2 should be able to be safe, and the condition is that, well, maybe, there's one validator who is sort of supporting C with, but they only have like 1% of the weight. And then there are, I guess, two validators on B2 with, I guess, like 99% of the weight, or I guess, a number of validators who are supporting B2, or maybe that's their latest block. Um, and then they can sort of see that they, or that clique can sort of see that everyone, that 99% of the weight is on B2, then B2 should be finalized, or um yeah. And so, or sorry, um yeah, that's fine. B2 should be finalized. And so in that sense that it's kind of weird that you would, or I guess
Yeah,
in
so I
that,
think that's a good example, right? Because yeah, if B2 looks finalized and then everyone sees, there's this new block C that includes this B2, and then they go up and support C, if all of a sudden B2 then becomes unfinalized, that would be weird, right? That would be very strange behavior.
yeah. And yeah, I guess I was just gonna say that I just like all the if most of the validators, or like the large clique, is on B2, then I guess they wouldn't ever make it unsafe even if they just CC, because um I guess because they would put their weight on it and oh, I see. If they're sort of in the transition process of going from B2 to C, and they haven't seen the fact that other people who used to sort of be part of the B2 clique um haven't moved it over to C, and sort of in that transition you could, by sort of my what I said earlier, B2 could become unsafe, and that's not what we want. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
so I think the definition has to support the full sort of DAG-like behavior, um, and then yeah, when we go to do an implementation, we could think about fancy shortcuts that could be taken.
Yeah. And so it seems like if that is the case, then it seems like I'm just trying to check when we need DAG like behavior. So I guess, yeah, I guess, I'll think about it. Yeah. I guess, how for the latest block, you wrote an optimization, or sorry, for sort of like the implicit supporting, you wrote like an optimization that essentially looks only at the latest blocks, um, and sort of just kind of sorts the tip of the DAG. I'm thinking there must be something similar. So, anyways.
Yeah, you're probably right. But that being said, the the scoring part that goes from the tip back to Genesis, like the main loop of that, still traverses the whole DAG. So it was just the last little bit could be optimized because we were asking about a very particular condition. So it might be the case that at least initially the safety oracle has to traverse the whole DAG, and then maybe we'll think of something clever later.
Yeah, I mean, if we're trying to deem the safety, for example, of the Genesis block, you probably have to traverse the whole DAG, unless, I don't know. I mean, maybe because it's Genesis, you can just say, but like maybe like a few blocks forward.
But I also think that in practice, because safe by the definition of safety, it's an irreversible property. You would, in practice, have sort of a leading edge of safety, and once something becomes safe, that edge sort of just pushes forward, and then you never check anything behind that edge ever again. You just know it's safe.
Oh, right? Yes, yeah, definitely. Like what, like the CBC Casper implementation already does.
Yeah, exactly. So I think in practice, it's not that big a deal, right? You'll be checking, at most like 50 blocks or something, right? Like it won't be that big a deal.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I guess with that then, I don't know if I might just drop off. If that's cool with you.
Yeah, might as well. It doesn't seem like anyone else is here this morning.
Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, I'm getting in on Saturday.
Cool. I'll be there Friday, but yeah, I'll see you guys Saturday then.
Cool.
All right, peace out.
See ya.
See ya.